Good morning. Today we will start monopolistic competition. Now let me tell you one thing. In real life, alright, in real life you will see neither perfect competition is available, is there in the market, or nor monopoly is there in the market. Why? Because almost every market seems to have the features of both the perfect competition and the monopoly. This means perfect competition and monopoly together we can study, and economists, the economists, they have given us all these definitions and the meaning of all these words. They call such market where both the perfect and the perfect competition and the monopoly is there. They used to call monopolistic competition or imperfect competition. Alright, first we should know who has given this concept of monopolistic competition. Clear? It is given by American economist whose name is Professor Chamberlain. He was the person who gave us the concept of monopolistic competition. Clear? But as I told you, monopolistic is somewhere, it is also, you can see, it is given imperfect competition. Imperfect competition. Now this imperfect concept was given by Miss Professor Chamberlain, and this is given by Mrs. Joan Robinson. Mr. Joan Robinson. Alright. This means both are same, almost both are same, but this monopolistic competition, because he said that perfect competition, monopoly is known as monopolistic competition, and she said that perfect competition and monopoly is known as imperfect competition. Clear? This is only the difference. Now first the question comes, sir, we came to know who is the you can say who has given this concept of monopolistic and imperfect. But what is the actual definition of monopolistic definition? If you want, please write it down. Write it. It is a market situation where there are large number of buyers and sellers. Again, I am repeating. It is a market situation where there are large number of buyers and sellers. Remember, selling closely related goods, but not homogeneous. Again, I am repeating, they sell closely related goods, but not homogeneous. I will write this point to explain you. Closely related goods, but not homogeneous. Now what do you mean by this word? Now closely related means, suppose you go to the market and you want to purchase Colgate. Now Colgate, many varieties are there in the market. Maybe you will go to the market, you will see Sensodyne is there, you will go and Sensoform is there, Colgate is there, Dabur toothpaste are there, Patanjali toothpaste are there. All are toothpaste. This means they are closely related goods, but they are not equal. Alright, they are not homogeneous. Alright, now understood the meaning of closely related and not homogeneous? This is the meaning of not homogeneous. Clear? Now we will study the main features of monopolistic competition. Now what are the features? First feature, in the definition only I told you, a large number of sellers and buyers. Clear? Where you will see many buyers are there and many sellers are there in the market, and they are purchasing the commodity. Clear? Second one is product differentiation. Now understand it properly. Now actually what happens when you will go to the market, you will see there are various products, alright, by the various forms, similar in nature, but they are differentiated. How? By their brand name, by their shape, by their size, by their color, by their quality, everything. This means just now what I said, that closely related but not homogeneous. The same thing is here. Clear? You will be getting same commodity with a different brand name, different size, different color, different quality you will be getting. And you know where the products are very similar to each other but not identical. Just now I said, na? They are similar because all will help you to brush your teeth. But all will help you to brush your teeth. But the thing, they are not homogeneous. Alright, their brand name is something else, their quality is something else, their color, their size, everything differs. This is known as product differentiation. Third one, you are aware of this word. Third, free entry and exit of firms. Firm can come in and firm can leave the market anytime. There is no hard and fast that you cannot start your own shop in the market or you cannot close your shop. If you are running loss, you can close. If you want to start your business to earn more and more profit, you can start. No one can stop you. The fourth one, selling cost. This is very important. Now, what do you mean by selling cost? Actually, you know, where different products are there, you'll have to advertise it. People should know which one I will be taking, because when they go to the market, sometimes they also are confused. People are also confused because in their mind it was that I'll be going and I'll be taking their what? Colgate. And now as they reach the market, people are there and they are telling, sir, you take Sensoform, you take this and that. Now the problem came in their mind. Now what they are doing? This is known as advertisement. Sometimes you will see the big hoardings are there. All these expenditures, alright, is added in the goods only. This is known as selling cost. And why it is? Only to promote the sale. Selling cost is there only because to increase the sale, to promote the sale. Clear? Because buyers cannot compare the brands. Which brand is good, which is not good. People, they go and they ask, like a wheat, they ask ki which one to Nature Fresh to take, or Ganesh to take, or Ashirvad to take, or Patanjali wheat to take. They themselves don't know. And obviously, when you will advertise too much in the news channel, in the TV channels, or in the market, in the newspaper, people will purchase that one. But remember, when you are giving in all these advertisement in the newspaper or news channel, you are paying them. Now that amount will be added in your product. Because of this, the product cost increases in the market. Now the fifth one. Fifth one is non-price competition. Now, price competition to we know. What is non-price competition? You know, there are many rivals in the market. When you start your shop, there are many rivals. Rival firms, every time they want to compete with one another without changing the price. Suppose the price change in the market, then also they are not changing. No, I will not change. Only to grab the customer. More and more customer they want to grab. You see, they are changing the price, but my price is same. Suppose you want to take Lifebuoy. Now that person is not changing. Now you say, sir, he is selling in loss. Maybe he is selling in loss to grab the customer. Today, if he will not earn 1 rupee, tomorrow he can earn from that particular person 10 rupee. How? Because in Lifebuoy he will be getting only 1 rupee if he will increase the price. He doesn't want to increase. He is giving in a purchase price. Whatever price he has purchased, the cost price, he is selling it. Now, second day, you will come to know that this shopkeeper usually gives in a very less price. When each and every shopkeeper, they were charging too much, but this shopkeeper was giving us in a very less price. So you will be going next day. The next day you are taking some other commodity. In that he can add 1 rupee and he can take from you. You will not able to understand also. This is known as non-price competition. Clear? Next one, number 6. Very important. Be aware of this one. Imperfect knowledge. Imperfect knowledge. Now, you know, buyers and sellers do not have perfect knowledge about the market condition. And you say, so why? because so many products are there in the market. All right, it is very difficult to compare the price, the brand, the product, the size, everything. It is very tough to compare, and because of that, what happens? Imperfect knowledge we have about the market, and what we do, we suffer also. How we suffer? Suppose one example I am giving you. Suppose your mother asked you, beta, go and bring a lady finger from the market or brinjal from the market, and you are not aware what is the actual price of, because you never purchased. You are not aware. Now your mother said, take the small size one, the lady finger. Now when you are there in the market, you are searching for the small one, the lady finger, and you got somewhere, you got that one. Remember, that person can ask you 30 rupees, 40 rupees, 35 rupees, 25 rupees per kg, but actual price in the market is 20 rupees. You are not aware. So this is how imperfect knowledge, sometimes people they have, so not sometimes, maximum, because when you are going to the market, the n number of goods are available, and it is very tough to remember the brand, the price, the size, everything to keep note in the mind is very tough. Clear? This is all about the main features of monopolistic competition. Now we will come to know about monopsony. Monopsony. Now what is monopsony? Monopsony, two words are there. First, mono, you know the meaning, single, and second is, it is sony. P is silent here. Sony, which is known as buyers. Now you can make your own definition. Single buyer will be there in the market, is known as monopsony. Yes or no? If you want, please write it down. Alright. Monopsony refers to a market where there is a single buyer. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. I'll tell you how. Where there is a single buyer of a commodity or service, but there are many sellers. There are many sellers. This means seller will be n number. Many sellers will be there, but only one buyer will be there. This is known as monopsony. Now I will tell you how. Because what happens, sometimes a big factory is there in an isolated land. Alright, in an isolated locality, one big factory is there, and that factory is the sole buyer of commodity from the firm, from the big factory. When they require the commodity, only one factory is there every time demanding for the some product, whichever product, we don't know, whichever product is there, where only one firm is there in isolated land, every time they are only demanding for those products. Now this type of market, where see, this means only one seller, that market, that factory owner is a seller, purchaser. This means only one buyer will be there and many sellers will be there. Clear? And here consumers of certain commodity are organized. You know, many people are there, they have made up their mind. Like I can give example of my own family member, my father. Alright, maybe whatever happens, he will not take bath, but if he will take bath, he needs Lifebuoy. So you can understand. Now you say, sir, many people are there in the market to buy the Lifebuoy. Yes, I know, but I am giving you one example that maybe all will leave, but my father will not leave. This means one buyer will be there. So this is how we can say it is known as monopsony. Clear? Monopsony, and after that whatever is given in your book, it is not there in the syllabus, because monopsony only, you can see the reduced syllabus already I posted in your class group. You can check it, that monopsony only definition, and I explained about the monopsony. Now we completed this chapter. Next class we will start new chapter.